Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Managed to get my teapot. Managed to get the teapot so I don't die of microplastics. The stuff you gotta do. The stuff you gotta do. Okay, I am home alone. Danny's away with little man, but I will put on the headphones just to give me that extra layer of focus. Okay. And we'll have a look at the markets, specifically my baby NQ. My baby NQ. Took two trades this where are we? This morning, and I was slightly in the green. I'm pretty much probably break even at the moment. Maybe even slightly down. I'll show you my screens in Whoop when we go live. But yeah, this is pretty much all I've got for today's trading. Now, there's two things I want to speak about. The first thing is I initially went short this morning, which I'm going to just bring up the micro NQ just to show you so I don't change the drawing. So just bear with me. This is the micro NQ. So this is the minis, the micros. My initial short this morning was off the halfway back on the overnight, right? Here. I think I was even shorting prematurely down at the 38 as well, inside the true trend. Now, I then switched bullish and flipped long once we had that triangle momentum and once we started breaking above the 50. I rode some of my profits, as you already are aware, in the room at around 564s, 564s, 562s. Sorry, 25,642s is where I took off my profits. And just so you can see, up into these highs here, I only have 2 micros on the 50Ks and 1 micro on the 25s. So risk is pretty small, but I was, as you can see, I'm up like $50 on the day on these accounts, but some of my accounts I'm down to like $26. So to be honest, as I always say, like these ones here, I'm pretty much down $20. As I always say, trading the overnight action, in my opinion, the overnight action sets the scene. The RTH delivers the scene, delivers the goods, right? ETH sets the scene, RTH delivers. So I don't mind trading some of the RTH session, but I'm fully aware that most of the time, I want to say like 70% of the time, it's not really worth trading, but it helps set certain levels. And if you can see and have a little bit of exposure to it, it helps setting up your expectations going into the rest of the day. Like I already know the trading that we've had on the overnight has been pretty much lackluster. So I'm having those expectations going into the open, right? So again, my initial short was wrong and I flipped long, took some profits, still riding my longs. If you're only going to listen to the first 2 minutes or 3 minutes of this video, today's bias is bullish and we will be buying pullbacks. As I always say, that may change and can change, but as it stands for now, it's going to be a long pullback type of day. Why? Really simple stuff. What have we done? Come on, everyone who has the masterclass, what have we done on this extension? Drum roll, please. Can someone answer the question? What has this done? I will wait for an answer. And I don't mind waiting. This is the only way you guys learn if I ask questions. I won't move on until someone answers this question. What have we done? It's literally like, I think, chapter 6 or 5 in the masterclass. What has this now confirmed? Someone please in the what? Come on. Come on. There must be 50, 60 of you in this room. What have we done? I think this is what I'm going to do going forward. I need these answers to be, these questions to be answered, or else you guys will never learn like what we're talking about. No, we broke the 62. Thank you. Thank you. We broke the 62. What does that then tell us? Discount longs are and should be valid, right? Discount longs are and should be valid. Now, if we go back, thank you. Thank you. Now, if we go back to the NQ, what do I have this morning? I have 2 long entries. The first one was the hold of the high to high inside true trend. Now, you may ask, Callum, what happens if we do this? Right? Guess what? If we're going to bounce from the midpoint, i.e. inside both of my longs, this level is still going to trade. So disregard the pullback and wait for the confirmation of the move. You can bid this 38 and get stopped out. That doesn't mean you're a bad trader. What makes you a bad trader is not having the foresight and the confidence to get back in once you see strength building. So I have 2 levels marked for a long. I have no shorts on the table today, unless something changes and we go inside whoop and I look at some other levels. But as it stands, you want the small 30-second summary. This is a pullback long type of day. Now you can leave this YouTube video and come back tomorrow and hopefully you've made enough money to pay for a monthly live stream access. This is a pullback long type of day. Those who respect those rules are going to be up profitable today. Anyone that tries to fight it, you're going to have a hard time, right? You're going to have a hard time. The long, for me, the more aggressive high to high is going to be breaks and acceptance of 620s into 680s to 700s, right? Pretty much back into yesterday's high. If we do, and this is why this is so important, if any of you are still watching this live stream here, this is where the secret sauce is. Now, I was wrong this morning. Why was I wrong? You guys won't necessarily notice because I haven't fully broken it down. I've put messages in the chat, but the reason why I was short, I did put a voice note actually. The reason why I was short is because I was expecting, what level was I expecting to trade today? This is how I know if people are actually reading the messages and actually doing the homework. What level for the long side was I expecting to trade today? Come on. 520s. Lee got it right. 520s. Lee was the first one to get it right. 520s is what I was expecting to go long today. Now we came down to 528s, 530s, and we didn't get it. And part of me was like a little bit of FOMO for not getting that long. And then what I tried to do is I tried to short a pullback, which in hindsight is never the best thing to do. But I do know I got quite a good win rate in terms of my strategy. But we missed it by about 8 points. And I was a little bit annoyed for not getting that long. I was also not even awake. I wasn't even at the market at that time. But because I, 1, missed it, and 2, I was anticipating a lower move. I was being a bit stubborn is the answer. I was being stubborn and I was expecting, no, my level's correct. Callum's going to get the perfect level, which is never going to always happen. But in short, we came down to what should have been the perfect long entry, which was the ETH dynamic trend line. Remember, guys, I do not draw these levels on my screen. How do I remove the drawings? I do not draw this level. I have not drawn this level on my screen. As Lee pointed out, this was the exact low of the ETH session. This is the ETH dynamic trend line. For now, that has been the exact low. I think the exact low. And again, I do not plot these. These are plot. This was the exact low. So the ETH dynamic trend line was the exact low, and I was trying to be stubborn. I was trying to go against that, and you can see here we had double red diamonds on the lows, which is telling you potential trend exhaustion. So again, I was able to see my wrongdoings and then switch long into that trade. Now, the only reason I keep this as valid is because I still think that 520s, which is basically down here, this is why I got the drawings, I still think this area for the long side is still valid. Now, the question is, how do you manage a long if you're already long from, I'm long from 605s, 615s, and even 615s. How do I manage a long in this area? It's pretty much at my break even, slightly below break even. How do I manage my position here if I'm still also going to be a buyer down here? I use what's called an ATM stop, right? I use a fixed stop. And I know my data is about, on average, 38 to 52 points, which is my maximum exertion per trade, right? So I'm using anywhere between 38 and 52 points per stop, which is what I've done for the past pretty much all of last year and most of, obviously, the start of this year, right? Last year, I ran my stats halfway through June, and 38 to 52 points has been pretty much my maximum exertion, meaning 80 was it 80 to 90% of the time, that is where if I'm wrong on the trade, then it's a bad trade to begin with, right? It means most of the time when I'm right, and within those 38 points to 52 points, I'm pretty much sound 80 plus percent of the time. So for me, if I'm long from 600s, what am I risking? Around 38 to 50 points. Call it 40 points, right? 40 points. So I'm risking about 560s. So unless we come down to 560s, I'm still good. And then you may ask, well, what happens if you come down to 560s then bounce? Again, there's going to be a second. There's going to be, if that happens, it's annoying. But guess what? There's going to be another trade, because if that does happen, and this is like a revolutionary thing for me recently. It might just be very basic to you guys, but for me, this is like something that's really taken me a long time to figure out. But like, the amount of times where back in the day, 2 or 3 years ago, I used to get stopped out and then it would go in my favor. You have to remember, if that move is going to be at all valid and a decent move, you're going to have a continuation pullback. And guess what? That is probably going to line up with the same level that you was trying to go long at before anyway. So get stopped out if you're wrong. And if you're right, you're going to have another entry. And if you're wrong, you're probably going to miss 200 points of negative down draw. So you're always better off using a fixed stop. For me, 38 to 50 points based on my actual trades. That's my actual trade log of TradeZilla from Tradeovate and using tick data on TradingView. And I've collated all of my entries, maximum drawdowns, and obviously that's why I've got that 38 to 52 points. I'm explaining this because I do realize there's a couple new people that have joined. In fact, there's about 25 people that's joined over the past month or two. So I do appreciate there's quite a lot of new people in the room. So I'm trying to just give out a little bit more advice in terms of how I manage positions. And I think this is quite good stuff to go through. But anyway, running into the last couple of minutes of the breakdown, it is a long pullback type of day. If things change, we will obviously break it down live in the trading room. So if you are, remember, you know where we are in the live streaming channel under the live stream access. And if you aren't a member, obviously you can join. But other than that, it is, a long pullback type of day. If anything changes, of course, always let you know in the trading room live on screen. If there's any questions, let me know. But as you can see on my other screen, where are we? We are long on pretty much all of the accounts, which I am breaking a couple of rules here, being long on all my accounts. But I am very, 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 very confident in this move. Very confident in this move, and I do think we get that move into 680s to 700s. And I will come back tomorrow and let you guys all know how that goes. For anyone watching this on YouTube for free, everyone in the live stream, you get to see everything that we do all on screen. Other than that, guys, I will see you all in the stream tomorrow, and everyone on